Hello, I'm out in the gorgeous British countryside today, testing something a little bit unusual for me. It's an L-plate friendly motorcycle called Sinnis RSX. It has a 125cc, 4-stroke, 1-cylinder engine, and it makes 11 horsepower. Let's take it for a spin. Whee! Slipped. Such a professional. Whee! Right, Sinnis RSX. I think the very first thing to discuss here is the size. This being an L-plate friendly motorcycle, we would get a lot of beginner riders, possibly women as well, possibly younger riders. The last thing we need is the size being overwhelming to them. So the weight is 135 kilograms. 135 is nothing in motorcycle standards. Just to compare, the most of the 600 and 1000cc motorcycles are around 185 up to 200 something kilograms. So this being 135 is nothing. Second most important thing about it is the seat height. Now I'm 5'4", and on most motorcycles I'm literally on my tippy toes. This I'm absolutely fine on. It's 760 millimeters seat height, 76 centimeters. That's a whole lot less than most motorcycles. I mean, my BMW HP4 is, for example, 825, so that's 82.5 centimeters seat height. This is 76. The foot pegs are a little bit in the way when you put your feet down, but they're foldable, like that they easily get out of the way if you put your feet forcefully in front of them. So the size, this is super learner friendly. It's probably one of the lowest motorcycles I have come across. I'm super comfortable. In fact, let's stop. I'm not flat-footing, but I'm close to flat-footing. I'm very comfortable. Pegs are slightly in the way, but I don't know if you can see this. They fold out of the way when you put your feet down. That's always a good feature. So there's nothing to be afraid of in terms of size. It is light, very light, small, great for smaller riders. That being said, the bars are pretty wide, and I don't think a taller rider would be very cramped on it. I really like those LED lights here. I don't know if you can see them. Very pretty. Now what I feel is important to discuss at this point is the price, because to me that's the selling point. This RSX is 2,199 brand new. Well, it starts at 2,199. So just for comparison, if you were to buy a carbon belly pan from my BMW HP4, you'd have to spend £2,500 on that. You could take that money and buy a whole new motorcycle. Doesn't this put things into perspective? Whee, whee, whee. Now the reason I'm testing this is because my friend is just about to start her two-wheel adventure. She's hopefully passing her CBT next week, and I'm looking for a motorcycle for her. All this traffic, rush hour here. Now the budget is tight. She's only 23, so she's very restricted in what she can ride even once she passes the full test. She also doesn't want to worry about dropping the bike, so the size cannot be too much for her. She might not be mechanically friendly to begin with, because no one ever is. It's a learning curve, isn't it? I'm testing this to see if this is maybe the one for her. Now the price makes it very attractive. £2,000 for a brand new motorcycle. I mean, there's not many of those out there. And I mean for a geared motorcycle. I know there are some scooters that are cheaper than that, but £2,000 for a geared motorcycle is a good deal. Whee! I must say the suspension on this is absolutely delicious. Maybe it's because I'm used to my sports bike and it has a rather stiff suspension setup, but This is plush. It also comes on tires that I'm actually not familiar with at all, but they're very decent. The surface is very slippy around here. There's a lot of dust, a lot of gravel. It's very bumpy, and it's actually quite cold today, but they're gripping very well. Oh, I haven't been here before. Woo, this is fun. There's something approaching me. Now, power-wise, of course, it's not overwhelming. 11 horsepower is never going to be too much. Which, again, from the beginner perspective, I think that's good. There's no way you can cause any damage with this. 11 horsepower. Wow, it's gorgeous around here. Whee! I love this road. Oh, I need to bring my hyper here. I really like the dash. We have a lot of information here. From beginner perspective, quite important in my eyes. We have a fuel gauge, so not just a fuel light, we have an actual fuel gauge. We have a gear indicator, so you know exactly which gear you're in. I'm a massive fan of having a fuel gauge on motorcycles, especially if you are a beginner and you don't have that habit of checking your fuel or remembering how many miles you can do, and you jump from a car onto a motorcycle and suddenly it's a major adjustment because you can only do 100 miles. Whee! It is quite important to have a fuel gauge, I think. I like it. I like having one. Now the gearbox is actually brilliant. For what this motorcycle is, I mean, this is a budget bike. It's a £2,000 brand new motorcycle. You wouldn't expect anything decent from mechanics here. The gearbox is fabulous. Struggling a little bit uphill, but we are in a 4th gear. And I'm lazy to downshift. I want to give him a push. On a downshift, you can actually engine brake quite safely. I don't know if you can hear this, but I'm clutchless shifting. This is not your typical road behavior. Not every bike is happy with clutchless shifting. This is absolutely fine. I like this. It's a decent gearbox here we have. Oh. Honestly, the handling is just incredible. Right, this is perfect for brake tests. Let's do it. Yes, the brakes are not incredible, but they're not too bad. I mean, bear in mind, you're stopping 11 horsepower. How much damage can 11 horsepower do? Let's see the top speed. These are all 60 limit roads here. Whee! 58, I think, is the top. Thank you. Very kind. So yes, parents, if you never want your child to go over the limit or over 60, here's a great motorcycle. Thank you. Oh, I think this is a private road here. Sorry. U-turn. Stalled. Sheep are watching me. What is she doing here? It's private property. Sorry, sheep. Sorry. So another thing I really like here is the look. This is not pretending to be a sports bike. I don't really see the point of being uncomfortable on a bike that looks like a sports bike but isn't particularly fast. The only way I can justify the lack of comfort is if I'm going fast. Now the Yamaha 125, for example, the R125, is not particularly comfortable. It looks cool, yes, but if you're not gonna go fast, might as well sit upright and be comfortable. So between this and the YBR, is it 125? I probably would choose the ultimate CBT bike, but then we all know that's not great. This is far better. I think it looks great. I think it looks bigger than it is. I don't think it looks like your typical 125. I really like the paint finish because this black paint has like a green flake in it, so in the sunshine it's actually really gorgeous. I really like a touch of green here and there. Very pretty. I just think the whole bike aesthetically looks fantastic. Again, for the price and for what it is, I think it looks brilliant. Nothing about it is tatty or feels cheap. I'm sorry to say, but this bike is quite cheap. It is, but nothing about it feels cheap. My expectations were pretty much non-existent. I am surprised on every level. The only thing that isn't incredible here are brakes. Oh, another thing, the turning circle, my darlings, is rather impressive. That was a terrible U-turn. But we didn't touch the floor, so we would have passed. It was wobbly, but it's okay. Yes, the turning circle is magnificent, as you would expect on a naked bike, but some modern naked bikes are pretending to be sports bikes and they have a turning circle of a fairy. Not ideal. So this is great. It sounds decent as well, doesn't it? Whee! I'm liking this a lot. I think this might be the one for Jay. I mean, everything else is just so expensive or so terrible. If it's affordable, it really is terrible. It's not pretty, it's not enjoyable to ride. But this is pretty, this is fun to ride. 11 horsepower goes a long way. I like it. Support local business as well. Sinnis is a British brand. No import duty on this if there's a Brexit no deal. It's a very current hot topic. If there's a no deal Brexit, we might be paying more for motorcycles imported from abroad. Woo! Woo! You know what I quite fancy doing? Taking this round a go-kart track. Oh, I need to show you one more thing. There's a USB plug in here. You can charge your phone on the go. If you have like a phone mount case thing here, you can plug it into a charge, use it for a sat nav. Brilliant. That's a nice smile I got from a gentleman in lycra. I love this. I don't think you can stretch £2,000 any further than this. That's my opinion. What a great motorcycle. Whee! And please bear in mind, I'm saying all this as an owner of a BMW HP4 that has 186 horsepower. It's a beast. So you wouldn't expect me to have much fun on anything smaller, let alone that much smaller. 11 horsepower is quite a lot less than what HP4 makes. And it's brilliant. I kind of want to race this. If there's like a 1 to 5 class, I'd be well up for that. I say give this a shot. Sinnis RSX. Great fun.